I'm Kent Seacrest with Prairie Quilt in Hennessy, Oklahoma. And I'm sorry my voice is a little hoarse, allergies, but I'm going to do the best I can because I'm really excited to share with you the Brother Dream Machine 2. Now, recently we became dealers for the Brother Machine, and we have been learning it and finding it a fascinating machine. I thought you might like to go on a little adventure with me as we explore the Brother Dream Machine 2. It has so many things, I thought it might be nice to actually see them in a video instead of having to read about them in the book. By the way, the book is very good. It's thick, it's all one language, and it will teach you everything you need to know about your machine. We'll set that aside and just sit back, grab your popcorn, and enjoy the show. So, to be introduced to the machine, the first thing we notice is we have a big screen. It's an LCD color screen, and that gives us the images we use to interact with the machine. It's a touch screen. It's sensitive to our touch. Moving across the machine, I'm going to go into the buttons and talk about them. The first button here is the needle threader button. When we use that, we touch that, it will actually pull down an automatic needle threader. The next button over is considered your speed control button, but can also be used to control either needle position in straight stitch or the width of your stitch. But that's a user setting in the machine. We'll talk about that later. Moving to the left, we have the presser foot button. This will put the foot down if it's up, or to put the foot up if it's down. This is a handy little tool. It also has a lever in back that you can use it to lift the foot if you want instead. Next to that, we have scissors, and it is what it says. You touch the button, it cuts the thread. What more can I say? This button here is our needle position button. The needle position button can be used in two ways. It can be either needle up or needle down, or it can be a 3-point drop where it actually has 3 different positions the needle takes. So you can choose how to use it in a user setting in the machine, which I will talk about. The next button here is called a knot button. It will tie a knot for you when you touch it, and there's a little light that goes with it. This button here is the reverse button, and you use it to sew in reverse. And the last button we have here has a little ridge around it, so if you feel it, it's larger and recessed. It's a different type of button because they don't want you to touch on accident because it will make your machine sew automatically when you touch it. So that's a very popular button right there. You'll use it a lot. But there's a lot of more things on this machine. That's not all there is. Let's just keep going here. So if I open the lid, we expose the area where we insert the thread to sew, which is right here, or we can use a secondary spool pin here. In here we have a fixed spool cap on the bottom, which is actually our spool pin base, and then we have a felt pad that goes on, and that will rest, our thread will rest on that. And then we have spool caps that come with the machine, which we slip over the different spools. Here we have a bobbin winder and the bobbin winder actuator. We'll learn about how to use that later. As we move to right to left, we have a thread guide, and this thread guide is used for the bobbin winder. And we have a pre-tension disc right here for threading to the bobbin winder. So our thread will go like this to the bobbin winder. We'll talk about it later. Here we have a pre-thread guide, and we come in and around and we follow the numbers. It's numbered on the machine, and we'll do more of this later. It's all numbered 6 and 7, so 1 through 7 if you follow it around. We have a bobbin case cover, and this machine comes with 2. This one has the 1/4-inch markings on it, and that's kind of handy. And we're just going to snap that on, and that's how it goes in. There's a little release right here to the right. You push on it and it pops up. And to put it in the machine, there's a little bitty knob that sticks out there. We're going to put it in its receptacle right there, and that's how it snaps in. And then coming around to the back of the machine, there's a little lever right here that comes down, and that's for your buttonholes. Whenever you use the automatic buttonhole maker, you're going to want to pull that down because then it will automatically make the buttonhole for your button. That's a very important feature. On the back of the machine, we'll show you in a minute, there's a plug-in for the embroidery foot. And basically the plug-in looks like that, and there's a little slot right up here, and we'll show you where that is. So you're going to plug your embroidery foot in there and your move it foot in there. On the front of the machine here, you can see a ruler that's showing up how many centimeters or millimeters, or excuse me, inches or centimeters from the needle and the machine is 11¼ inches wide. Down here we have a speaker, and this gives us the beautiful sound the machine makes. And we have a hole right here in the front, and that is for our knee lifter. So we have an automatic pressure foot lift, we have a manual lift, and then we have a knee lift. It goes right here. So the knee lift is here, and it inserts straight up and down when you put it in that hole and locks in securely. I don't use that because of the other two. So moving around to the end of the machine, we have a few more components. Right here we have the hand wheel, and the hand wheel is how we would manually turn the machine. There's a little raised lever right here that should be at 12 o'clock. You have your needle all the way up, just so you know. If you ever want your needle all the way up and your machine is off, that's what you do. You got a little raised piece. You may not be able to see it, but you can feel it for sure, and it just can go straight up. On the end here, we have 3 USB ports. This is a standard port here at the top for putting designs in the machine. The next one is also for putting designs in the machine. It's not as universal as this one is, but it also is made to receive a mouse. The bottom one, because you can use a mouse on your machine, the bottom port is for your computer to plug in a USB cable. The machine comes with one, so you can plug your computer into the machine with an included USB cable if you wanted to exchange files that way. We have a plug in here for headphones, so that you don't listen to your machine through your speakers, but you can hear it through your headphones, and you can control the volumes in the user setting. We have a plug in here, and that is for the foot control, and it's not just a foot control, it's a multi-function foot control, which is right here. I'll go more into this later, but you got your speed of your machine as you press it down, and then you have a programmable action if you go forward, and you have another programmable action on this button. So it's a very versatile machine with lots of capabilities at user setting in the machine to make it powerful. Now right here we have what's called the sensor Matic Pin. So that fits right here, and I see that our regular stylus is missing, but it sits in that hole there. So you have your mechanical stylus there, you have your electronic stylus, and it plugs in your electronic stylus that's right here. This little piece here does not come on the machine, but you pop out a little cap right here with an ice pick, and then you can snap that in, and that can be a stylus holder for you. And then down here you have an expandable port that I do not believe is being used at this time and will be in the future. If it is being used, it's to connect machines together. So I don't believe it is, so we're going to close that. And then up here we have a little port that we can put an SD card in, and this SD card is what we use in order to transfer designs to the machine wirelessly from our computer through our home network. So that port is right there. So that's all the plugins here, except for the power cord. The power cord plugs in right down here, and if you look at it, it's flat on one side, rounded on the other, and the flat side is away from you. And you just plug that in, and that'll give you your power from your wall. And then your on-off switch is here, which will turn the machine on. If we close our lid, we can reach to the back here, and we will find the handle to pick up the machine, which is hidden otherwise. Another thing, the lid is possible to come off, so it's possible for you to lift this up and pull straight up, and when you do, you can now add the thread stand that comes with it, and that will give you the ability to have a thread stand on the back for your threads. And the machine does not come with a hard cover, it doesn't need it. You can get an accessory case for it, and with that case, it will take it around safely as you roll it around, but while you have it out, you can just carry it by lifting it in here or using this handle, whichever is more comfortable for you. I prefer to put my arm in the free arm area and carry it. Now the embroidery unit has its own accessory that you need to know about, and that is this little lever right here is the lock for the hoop. So when you slide a hoop on, it has a lock right there, and that'll hold your hoop on. I'll release your hoop. And then you've got a screw right here that we use to take off the needle or to put a new needle in, and a screw right here on the end that is used to remove the presser foot and exchange your ankle You only use it when you put on screw-on feet like the ruffler or the embroidery foot. And it's pretty easy to put these feet on the way they're made. This is loaded with accessories. Brother has so many included accessories that come with it. It has all these little garages just filled with all kinds of things. The machine comes with 3 bobbin cases, 1 in it and 2 extra, and a couple of them are made to be adjusted by you, the user, and one of them is not made. It's supposed to be left alone. Just leave it where it is set, only changed by a service tech, and that allows you to have bobbin cases that you can fiddle with. The last thing I want to show you is the accessory tray, and it has storage options in it, front and back. There's that move it foot that feeds the fabric from the top. That stores in there. So that would give us a sewing surface. That is our video for today. Just getting acquainted with the main features of the machine. And we have a little journey, lots of exploring to do on the machine as we travel down the bunny trail of how much this fascinating machine has on it and how many things you can do with it. It's unbelievable.